uncertain. Step the curtain that rises to the stage. Till eight games of second guessing. I won't forget the lessons that I don't deserve. Because one street over there's a life I couldn't know. Would have kept me from the one I love today. One street over there's a life I couldn't know.
Oh, good morning. Good morning, Robertson County. It is so good to be back on the air with you guys. This is 1100 WSGI. I'm U-Turn Laverne. This is One Street Over. It has been awful not being able to be on radio for a few days. We've had some technical issues. Still not really sure what happens. Maybe we got a little, lightning strike or something. But it happens from time to time, and then we have to fix things and get them going again. And we are back, and I am so excited. I am so excited, too, that I even have a guest that was awesome with me. I mean, I've had to put you off. We have got Randall Pierre Alexander. I love that name. Oh, my word. That is a fabulous name. How are you doing?
I'm not too bad. How are you this morning?
I'm doing great. Like I said, I am so thrilled to be back in the studio. I can't begin to tell you how excited I am. But we are here and thrilled to be here. And hi, everybody. I've missed you. So, but it was so funny. You and I had put up yesterday, still technical difficulties, and you said, so that means we won't get to do radio. Yeah. I said, my plans are to do radio. Poor Ilyu Maldonado, thank you. Applause, sir. He has been in here they've been promising parts and replacement stuff for days, and God bless you. He was in here very late last night. I got a text from him long after I went to bed saying, are you up? We're doing the show in the morning, and I had already told you. I said, it looks like we're getting close, so let's plan on it. Yes, so, yay! So, everybody, welcome back to live radio on our social media pages. Again, thrilled to be here, 1100 WSGI. I want to say this is a worldwide Christian broadcast facility via the internet. And if we ever, lose something where we can't broadcast all the time on social media, I kept putting out, you can download the app, the WSGI app. I've put an image of it so you get the right one. And you can listen to wonderful Christian programming worldwide. I listen to it when I'm down in Mexico, when I'm up practically to Canada with my husband's family. But let's get to business. Right. Pierre's in here today because he is promoting Huddle Jam.
Yes, ma'am.
And what really cracks me up, this was mentioned to me, and I just didn't realize what a big stinking deal it was. I mean, truly, as I'm hearing all that you guys have got going on at this thing, I'm like, oh my goodness. I was warned that it was going to be a big deal, but this is a big stinking deal.
Yeah, we such short notice as well. Yeah, I probably never will plan a concert in 2 months again. It's gotten bigger than what we originally thought. It just started off as an idea to do a fundraiser concert, and next thing you know, we're getting some big acts in, and again, it's just taking off. So we're proud of it. Our organization is proud of it. So we're just trucking along.
Okay, so that would be the next question. You say your organization's proud of it.
Yes, ma'am.
Talk about the organization that's behind Huddle Jam and give them the particulars. Let's kind of unpack it for them because everybody's like, what are you even talking about? So,
yes, ma'am. Okay. So it's the Robertson County Flag Football League. I'm the president of that, and we started off as we were flag football, NFL, partnership with the NFL. You had David Walker on here talking about that. But our passion is really the mentorship program that we're starting out of that. And so we said, well, all right, we submitted a grant to the Department of Justice and hadn't heard back yet. So we decided, all right, well, we need some type of fundraiser to support this mentorship program that we're passionate about. And so that's where this concert came out of nowhere. And we said, all right, let's just, if we're going to do it, let's do it big. Let's bring a lot of people to Robertson County. Let's bring a lot of people to Springfield. Let them see what we have here. And it's just taking off. Yeah, so that's Robertson County Flag Football Leagues. I'm sure you've seen the signs, the blue signs around town, and seen registration. The kids probably saw them in their book bags and stuff. We went out.
So are you registering right now? When will you is that happening?
Registration is done. It's
okay,
done.
registration for this year is
for this
done.
season. Yep, it's done.
But I tell you what. So, did you give the date for the Huddle Jam? Give the date and give the lineup, and then explain to them what flag football is all about and why we're doing flag football. If you don't mind. But let's talk about the event.
Okay.
And unpack the artist and all the different stars that are going to be there, athletic stars, and just the date and all of that for us, so we make sure the folks that can only tune in for a few minutes get all that critical information.
Absolutely. So August 26th is the date. Doors open up at 5 o'clock, and event concert starts at 7. As far as the lineup goes, we got a guy named Clayton Q from Kentucky area, plays around the Opry a lot, plays with Vince Gill a lot. Great guy. He's helped me secure some sponsorships I never thought I'd be able to secure. Furman Generators. And then moving on up, we got Austin Williams. He's from around here. I think he's from exactly Pleasant View. I think he was born in Pleasant View, but he's a local guy, plays country, has some stuff with Chase Matthews. And then moving on up, we got Callista Clark. She is like a rising country star right now.
She's doing awesome right now.
Yeah, she's from Georgia, like I am, and so funny story about her. She opened up for my band like 8 years ago in Georgia, and then all of a sudden got signed with Big Machine label, and then that she's just huge now, as a hit on the radio, not number one, it's top hit on the radio, and then our headliner is Quad City DJs. So if you ever cheerleaded or played any kind of sport in the 90s or did anything like that, or you've seen the movie Space Jam, you know their music. They are famous for the Space Jam song, and then they also have the Come On Ride That Train song, and then they produced the song The Tootsie Roll and some Hoop There It Is, a bunch of songs that they produced as well. So I'm excited about that 90s throwback, I guess you could say.
Oh, yeah.
So that's going to be great. So that's our lineup. From there, again, the flag football thing is our flagship program, because it's NFL teams, but we our mentorship is something we're passionate about, and again, this is to raise money for that particular program, the mentorship program.
So you told us about our artists that are going to be there as far as music. Did you mention the football people?
Oh, I did not. Sorry.
I think there's some football names there you might want to throw out.
Yeah, we got. We're working on some more, but as of right now, confirmed, we got Albert Hainsworth, which is played for Titans. Played for the Titans for a while. Defensive back. I want to say, I think it was defensive. Oh, I don't know exactly the position he played, but well-known Titans player that does a lot in the community. And then we have a new safety that just got drafted from Ole Miss. His name is Otis Reese, and he'll be there as well. And not only the concert, though, we're working on them being with the kids during the day, because that's our opening day as games as well. So we got a big day for us for the league. Our first day of games is that day, and then we'll have Titans cheerleaders as well as those players out there as well. And so we're working on some more. So if somehow Derrick Henry hears this, tell him, hey, we want we'd like to have you in Robertson County, or Will Levis or somebody.
By the way,
Will Levis or somebody, yeah.
I'd love to add your name to the roster. I love it. Well, this is a good time, and it's happening at the center. It's not this weekend. Let's see, it's the last weekend in August.
Yeah, 16 days. Today's the 10th, right? So 16 days away.
Oh, 26. The 26th.
The 26th, yeah. So
it's the last Saturday in August.
Yes.
And it's going to be a great time, guys. So weekend before Labor Day weekend.
Yeah.
To give you just some perspective, this is not Labor Day weekend. It's the weekend before.
It's the weekend before.
And this is what a great idea. We were talking about, I said, a little bit about why we need flag football. Well, the bottom line is my kids played full on tackle football, and I had one that played through college, one that could have played through college if he hadn't been such a knucklehead and got in trouble. I'm just saying.
We've all been there. We've all been there.
So, but we had, one of my kids got injured pretty seriously early, and it kind of ruined him for football. Some kids are not ready to take those hits yet, and there's nothing in the world wrong with that. And there's a lot of parents that might be interested in letting them have exposure to the sport, but if they don't expose them to the dynamics of it early on, they can't compete when they get in high school because they don't know the game.
Yep.
So this way, while they're young, they can learn the game without having to endure the hits. And, you know, a lot of pediatricians will tell you, yay. So, I mean, having had kids that took those hits, can you imagine going up against my boys that are twice the size as your little guys and they're the same age?
Yep.
I mean, there's something to that. So would that be a lot of it behind that?
Absolutely. Yeah. So I want to say this. I want to make it known to all the tackle football coaches, to all the tackle guys. We're not in competition with you guys at all. This is not. If anything, this is a good segue, like you just said, for the kids to learn the fundamentals of the game. And give them the agility they need, the fundamentals. And so there's absolutely no competition here. We're just trying to give those kids another option.
Yeah.
You'd be amazed at how many even drafted kids right now, or in the NFL or in college, that play flat. They started off flag football. Archie Manning, for example, at the University of Texas, he started off playing flag before he even put on a helmet. So I just want that to be known that we're not, we want to work together. We all have the same mission at the end of the day. It's just, it's giving the kids something, better to do, keeping them off their phones, keeping them out and keeping them active and athletic. So that's our mission. That's our goal. And to make it cost effective too for us. That's the biggest thing for us is we have the lowest fees in Middle Tennessee for flag football. I mean, $75 is our fee.
That's not bad.
Yeah. Everyone else is at least over 100, and this isn't to knock them, but the community was able to come and support us big time with sponsors and companies that were able to come out, and that's why we were able to keep our fees low. And then the NFL made it, fairly cheap for us to get in and get uniforms and stuff for fairly cheap. So that's my.
That's your. Well, now tell me this: how many teams did you end up with? Do you have a team count?
We have I wish I could tell you how many teams off the top of my head.
Yeah, I'm putting you.
But we got about 133 kids is what we have registered. Yeah.
Wow.
And
that blows
we're excited
my mind.
about that. Yeah. For first year, we weren't even a thing in February, and then now we're coming in with that. So we expect spring to be double that. We expect to definitely have more older high schoolers and stuff playing in the spring. Right. So that's what we're
very
grateful
good
for that. Yes, ma'am.
All right. Well, we're going to pause for just a second. I got to do a break, but we are talking with Alexander Pierre. I mean, no. Randall Pierre Alexander. He's got a great name. I mean, you got a great name, but Randall Pierre Alexander. Pierre, though, is what you go by. That's how people know you.
Yes, ma'am.
Absolutely. So we're going to continue in just a moment talking about the Huddle Jam coming up. It's on August 26th. It's going to be at the center, and it's to raise money, not just for flag football, but for the mentoring program. I love that, and we want you to be a part of it. Let's pause and talk about Corbin Creek Greenhouse Gifts and Gardening Center. I try to always share Amy's post whenever she puts up something about what they're pulling out of the garden that day, because if you want fresh produce, Amy is one of those that she is at home when it's hot and sweaty, and she's out in the field in the garden getting dirty up to her elbows, picking fresh vegetables, and she tries to put out on Facebook, okay, I'm going and I'm getting this, and this, and she'll bring it in, and in the gift shop there at the greenhouse, you'll go in and it'll be straight out of the field. You can't get any fresher, guys. It's awesome. Went by there and got some green beans and some squash the other day, and I just love it. Also restocked my CBD supply, because if you've got arthritis, Artie is a bad old boy, and it is what it is. I'm going to have to endure this my whole life. And my doctor, who did my hip replacement, told me to try CBD. It helps. So go and check it out. I took a sweet friend at church the other day, a little thing of the ointment, because she sews and she wants to sew. I've got 2 or 3 friends. Mary Rainey, she also uses it. They're seamstresses and quilters, and your hands, they, when you get older, that arthritis gets you, and this CBD salve works wonders for that. Go and talk to them too about all the plants they've got. They're thinking they'll have mums by mid-September. They are going to have mums this year, so they're going to be your mum stop and everything you need for fall decorating. But go and see them right now. They're on summer hours, Monday through Saturday, 9 to 5. Sunday they're open from 1 to 4. And you can call them if you have questions, 615-384-3185, 615-384-3185. Just ask Amy what you getting out of the garden today. They're at 4920 Highway 161. Always please let them know that U-Turn sent you and said to say hello. Talking with my friend Randall Pierre Alexander. I just love that name. Goes by Pierre locally, and he is. So, what is your association with the Flag Football League? I mean, what is your? Are you like the? Are you the concert coordinator?
I'm the president of the organization of the Robertson County Flag Football League. Yes, ma'am. And so that's how I kind of.
Well, tell me this: why did you want this? Do you have kiddos this age that need this? What drove you? And stay right on that microphone for me.
Well, we saw a need. I can't take credit for the idea. I was brought onto it. I was recruited, and then having nonprofit experience in the past, and having worked with Boys and Girls Club and YMCA's and stuff like that in the past, I needed an outlet myself, I guess you could say, and so we just ran. A lot of stuff that we did in the beginning of this was when I say I've always been involved with the nonprofit in the past, but we've never started one from the ground up. So as far as getting a 501c3 license, writing grants, government grants per se. They wrote a lot of firsts and stuff with it, and so as far as the flag football aspect of it, I can't take credit for that. I was brought on, and we again made it. With the team we put together, with our treasurer. I gotta thank our treasurer, our secretary, Mr. Walker, as well, David Walker, that was on the show, our attorney. Everyone that's on our board has been tremendous in working. So I absolutely cannot take full credit for any of this. We're a great team, work good together, and so we've been, God's blessed us tremendously to be able to take this thing to where it needs to go. So as far as the need for my kids, I got all girls. They made it seem like they wanted to play at first flag, but now I think one wants to play basketball, one wants to maybe do cheerleading or gymnastics, so we're getting that worked out. I wanted them to play for my Broncos. I want to at least coach a Broncos team and have them play for me. But, we'll see how that goes in the future next season.
Well, how old are they? What is the age? Will your girls be eligible to play next year? Or are they going to?
Yeah, all of them are. Well, except for my youngest right now. So I got one on the way, due in November. And I got a 3-year-old. She'll be 4 in September.
That's wonderful.
Yeah, all girls, and then I got an 8-year-old and then a 10-year-old. So I got all girls. Girl dad here.
You're girl dad. That's wonderful, though. That's wonderful. Ma'am. And here's the thing. I did not realize that this is a boy and girl league.
Yep.
I don't know about full contact football that they do the tackle stuff. I don't know. I don't know if they let girls try out for that or not. I don't. Maybe they just don't.
Maybe a kicker position. I know Vanderbilt. Vandy had a kicker, female kicker last year, or maybe she's still there.
Really?
It's not a common thing. Yeah. Obviously. Yep.
But it is, again, and so that's cool that the guys and the girls, the boys and the girls can play just like they do on baseball young. But now tell me, what are the age, from this age to this age you can play in the flag league?
Yeah, so we opened it up originally 5 to 17, and then I take that back. We started off 5 to 14, and then we got a response from some older kids to 15 to 17-year-olds, and so we opened that up. And then, but unfortunately, we ran into the same thing a lot of the other leagues in the Middle Tennessee ran in, is their older groups, their high schoolers, wanting to play tackle or wanting to play something else. And so we, unfortunately, we're not able to have our U17 group. Pains me to even say that, because that was, something that we were maybe hoping to maybe have those kids travel and represent Robertson County.
Oh, that'd be wonderful.
Yeah, and so, again, but we ran into a snag where the other leagues around in the area said that, hey, we don't have the kids, so we're having to refund money as well. And so, we had to make that call and make that phone call to those parents. That was kind of heartbreaking. But we wanted to offer them still an opportunity to, be involved with our league, volunteer, the kids, hey, hang around. And then, next year, we'll waive their fees altogether and they won't have to pay. But we were, that was unfortunate. So as of right now, we're 5 to 14-year-olds. And then in the spring, we're going to, really, really hit the high schools hard and hopefully get some of the 16 and 17-year-old, 15, 16, and 17-year-old.
Yeah. Well, because they need it. They need it so much, and they need that involvement. And it's just, I can't say enough about involvement in sports and the character building that it is. Mm-hmm. And I was an athlete. And it's so funny now, everybody expects me to still be into sports. I'm not necessarily, but it was good for me at the time.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
it's just good. I insisted all my kids play something. They didn't have, they didn't have to. We kind of pushed them into football, and don't do that, parents. That's one of the biggest mistakes I ever made, because I had two of mine that just did not have the aggression for football, and I pushed them, and I should have let them pick. I wanted them to pick a sport. I wanted them to do something because I wanted them to be active, but I should not have insisted it be football, because two of them just did not have that aggressive nature at all.
Understood.
And I messed up there. So learn from me, parents.
Sorry.
Don't mess up your kids. No, I didn't mess up my kids, but it was a struggle.
Yeah.
We went through some stuff, and I think they would have enjoyed flag. I think they would have
Think
enjoyed
so?
flag. Well, because my boys, my youngest, you can't imagine how big he is next to the rest of the kids. I
Okay.
mean, the kid's like 6'9" now. Okay, he's a big dude. He absolutely has the build to have played beyond college. I mean, he's a big dude. He didn't want to. He didn't care for it. And one of the reasons why he didn't want to mess with it early on is he was afraid he was going to hurt somebody, because he recognized he's such a tender-hearted guy.
Gentle giant.
Yes, and he knows his size is something that he could hurt somebody, because he's just a bigger kid.
Absolutely.
And I get that. So, this is a good thing. This gives options for parents, for kids, all of it.
I'm excited about it.
Yeah,
Yes,
I
ma'am.
am too. Well, let's go through the Huddle Jam one more time.
All right.
For those that are just joining us, got a big event, fundraiser. This is not just about flag football. This is about the mentoring program, guys. Those ones you were talking about that are older, they're going to come along and work with you guys, and you can mentor them through their volunteer stuff.
Yes, ma'am.
Man.
Yes, ma'am.
It's such a great idea. And so the Huddle Jam is happening the weekend, not Labor Day weekend before. It's the 26th of August. It's at the center. What time are y'all at? What time's the doors open?
The doors open at 5. The event starts at 7 o'clock sharp.
Okay, so you can come in. People are going to, because I guess is it general admission?
Yes.
So positioning, so that's why people will come in early so they can make their spot and be there.
We got
and have their
concessions.
seat.
We got raffles. We got some generators, some brand new generators we're raffling off.
Okay.
And we got a bunch of stuff. We got some cool hosts. We got a house DJ. Kid's 15 years old. He's really good. So there'll be tons of stuff to do throughout the event. So we'll keep you busy for the time you're there. And yeah, it'll be fun. Good night of music and
Awesome.
all kind of fun little games and stuff like that we'll have as well. So
Huddle Jam. It's going to be a good time,
Huddle Jam.
guys. And it's all to benefit the Flag Football League.
Robertson
and
County Flag Football.
The Robertson County Flag Football League, and all that's going on with the mentoring program through that. So, again, tell them who's going to be there.
All right, well, so we got Clayton Q, Austin Williams, Callista Clark, and the Quad City DJs.
I love it.
Our lineup.
So, and when you were talking about the Quad City DJs, I didn't know what that meant. But then you start talking Space Jam and all of. I know exactly what you're talking about. That's really cool.
You get to looking at their catalog, you're like, wow, they produced that, or they're part of that song, or they work with those people, or that's their song, they did that. Again, like if you did any kind of in the 90s, I would say that's if you grew up in the 90s, that's kind of where you're, that nostalgia, that 90s throwback feel comes from.
Are you going to? I know you say you have a band. Are you going to share anything? And are you going to put anything out there?
No, we're not.
Play?
I'm just not at all. This isn't about. I don't want to make it about our band or anything like that. I got our attorney on the board. We did his wedding, and he was like, "Well, you guys can play." And I said, no, first of all, that's a busy day for us. That is a very busy day for us with the opening day games and the concert. So I don't even think I'd have the capacity to even play, but they don't want to make it. We want it.
Plug your band real quick while you're in here. What band? Are y'all for hire? Plug your band.
We are. The band say Stereotype. We play some stuff around town, but we're just a party band that just does weddings.
That's fun though.
And corporate parties. It's just fun and a lot of funk and soul. We do a lot of that. That's our real base.
That. When you told me my friend Nick sets in with you, I was like, really?
Yeah, Nick played with us. So Nick Bryant. Yeah, he played in Kentucky. We did a gig at a Christmas party in Kentucky. He went with us and did.
Yeah, he can pick up on anything. He's pretty talented.
The guy's amazing.
Well, and this is gonna be a good time. One more time, tell them exactly what's going on. Where's it happening? Give the particulars. Invite them to be a part of the football league. Before we kind of do the wrap up here, we got just another minute. Where are you going to be playing football? I mean, where are you going to be? Where can we come and watch these kiddos if
Absolutely.
we have a love of this kind of thing?
Yep.
When will the games happen? Kind of give me those particulars.
Absolutely. Our first day of games, again, is at MOK Park over, I think it's Main Street.
Martin Luther King.
Yeah, Martin Luther King Park. And join us for our opening day games. It's at 9 o'clock. We'll have a big ribbon cutting press conference.
Is it what day?
That's the same day as the concert. So that's a long day.
Okay.
It's August 26th as well.
Catch all that.
Sorry.
Okay, so we've got, well, you said it. It's just, it went,
August 26th, yep.
Yep.
That morning at 9 o'clock.
Okay, so we're going to start the games. I love that. Okay.
It's a whole day, yeah.
I'm glad we clarified that. So we've got the full day. We're going to start with the games at 9 o'clock over at Martin Luther King Park. And how many games will we have that day?
Probably go from 9 to maybe 3, so there'll be maybe 6 or 7 games.
Okay.
Maybe 8. It's going to be more like a jamboree type thing.
Sure.
The kids, we want to do a big huddle. We want to do a big tunnel run for the kids where they bust out some paper.
I love it.
And then the cheerleaders there, and then music and stuff. We want to make it, encourage them and let them have a good time. So join us for that. Free hamburgers, free hot dogs, free food.
Oh man.
Maybe a bounce house. I don't know, but I think we want to try to keep it, as simple as we can.
Just looking in his eyes, he's just like details. I'm trying to get all the details.
Simple as possible, but that's our opening day games. That same day is a huddle jam. So yeah, and the kids can come too. The huddle jam is open to all kids, and all of our kids and coaches get in free to the huddle jam. I think they know that. So
that's a big deal.
Send an email out. Yeah, all the kids and their coaches.
So the kids that are part of, so their fee for being in flag football covers the huddle jam.
And then let's see.
No, I'm just
we got some sponsors. U.S. Bank.
Yeah.
I got to give them a shout out. U.S. Bank. I guess so.
Okay. Well, very good. So the kiddos that are playing that 100 and whatever, how many kids you said, they're going to get in free.
Yeah, and the coaches. Yep.
And they can bring their, of course, the family needs to buy a ticket, but it's all for the Robertson County Flag Football and the mentoring program that they're doing, and we are so thankful I'm so glad we got to do this.
Yeah, finally, Man,
I'm so glad we got back on the air. So glad to see you, and what a good way to kick it off with such a great program. It is Robertson County Flag Football. If you have any questions, you can get in touch with my friend Randall Pierre Alexander. And where can they find you? What's the best way to connect with you if they want to know more?
Yeah, absolutely. You can go to our Facebook page, Robertson County Flag Football League. Just send out a message. rcflagtn.com is our website.
Say that website again.
rcflagtn.com is our website. Either one of those you can reach us. It's going to be hard for me to regurgitate the email address. I think it's robconflflag@gmail.com. That is it. robconflflag@gmail.com.
Okay. It's real easy to find them. Robertson County Flag Football. If you just do that, you will find them, and you can connect with Pierre and find out all you need to know about Huddle Jam and the fabulous fundraiser that is. All the stars and football stars that are coming. It's going to be a great time at the center on August 26th, and we'll keep promoting it for you.
Appreciate it.
Awesome.
Thank you so much for having me.
God bless you.
Thank you so much for having me. God bless you too.
My pleasure, and thank you for being patient with us while we get all this stuff fixed. So thank you guys for joining us again. Thanks, and I'll let y'all make the switch now. And we're going to take a pause for a second and talk about Barry and Rebecca Richards with the Exit Realty Garden Gate team. If you want to know more about what's happening in real estate, they are good ones to contact because, man, they are up to date on all the latest stuff. Rebecca is one of the first in the area to be a seniors real estate specialist. I mean, she's studying all the time to stay up to date on what you need to know to come to the real estate table. Her hubby, Barry, he was a vice president of a media marketing company for 17 years up in Nashville, retired from that, went full-time with real estate. And so how valuable do you think it would be to have a marketer on your team when you're trying to sell your property? Incredible, because he does drone footage, does photography, beautiful photography that people will not swipe past your home. They're going to pause and take a second look. He will make sure you get up on realtors.com. They specialize in buying and selling here in Robertson County because they're from Cross Plains, have been there 27 plus years, but they also buy and sell in the surrounding counties and across the state line in Kentucky. Great friends. Full-time sponsors of our program, One Street Over. We love them. You'll see them all around the community, all these things that are going on. They sponsor all kinds of stuff. They're great folks, great friends of the program. Barry and Rebecca Richards with the Exit Realty Garden Gate team. When you contact them, be sure and let them know that U-Turn sent you. And it's so funny when I have to tell my guests they need to come in and sit down because I'm ready to start talking to them. So we'll get them on in here. We only have one microphone, guys. So we've had, as y'all know, we've had some tech issues, so you'll have to pass it betwixt you. So, yeah. But welcome, Tiffany Thomson and Brian Pulley. It's so funny. I was putting the names up on the show, and I put Tiffany Pulley, and I fixed it.
Yeah, okay.
I was like, that's not right. How are you doing?
We're doing good.
I've been like a lost lamb without my radio, not being able to be on radio for 3 days. We had the station was down for. We broadcast. The board we don't know what happened. The board went out. So we don't know if we got some lightning. We don't know, but poor ILU, they promised him a replacement on Monday. Then Tuesday, then they finally got it in here. He was in here until 10:30, 11 o'clock last night getting everything working. So thank you, ILU.
Yeah.
President of Ebenezer Broadcasting, we appreciate you. So, hi.
Hi.
How are you doing?
Good.
So what are we talking about?
All the things.
Our
Our biggest thing is our Electrolux air conditioning unit giveaway. That is giant on my plate right now, so we'll definitely talk about that first. It's going to be August 29th at 10 Kids Nutrition. If you don't know where that's at, it's 1006 Pepper Street in Springfield. And so, but what you want to do, if you want an air conditioning unit, you need an air conditioning unit, you know somebody that needs an air conditioning unit, you need to get a voucher first, ahead of time. So there is a 2-step process to this. You've got to get your voucher beforehand, and the locations to do that, you can do it at Cope, and they'll be there from Tuesday through Friday from 1 to 3. So that's the only one that has hours specifically on it, that they're giving away the vouchers. But Cope is downtown on Main Street, or you can go next door to United Ministries. They are also going to be a voucher location. There's Juvenile Court, so especially if you're already involved in Juvenile Court, you can talk to them, and their voucher location, Mid-Cumberland Community Action Agency, the YMCA, or the library. So those are our voucher locations. Go to one of those locations, tell them that you're interested in an air conditioning unit, and they will set you up with a voucher. It's a very, very simple process. Bring your photo ID. That's the only thing you have to bring is your photo ID, but they're going to just take your name, your address, your phone number, give you a voucher, check your photo ID. There's only one qualification, and that is an income qualification, and it is 200% of poverty. So that is actually a very generous income verification. So basically, if you want to check ahead of time, if you're eligible, go to Google and type in 2003 poverty level, and it brings up a chart, of household size from 1 household to 8, I think is on there. And then whatever that says next to it has a dollar amount next to it. That's your yearly income. If you need to divide that by 12 to figure out what you make monthly, that's fine. And then just double that. So if you're a family of 8, I think the number is like $101,000 a year. So that's why I'm saying this is like it's very generous. But if you're a family of 8 and you're making $100,000 a year, you're probably still struggling right now, especially with school starting. And if your air conditioning unit's out, that's thousands and thousands of dollars to get your air conditioning fixed. Or if you have never had air conditioning and you're 8 people in one household, then definitely please take advantage of this opportunity. And so we really want to get those vouchers out. We have, what's the date today?
The 10th.
The 10th. So we have we have 18 days to get those vouchers out. So actually, basically, the next 2 weeks, go get your vouchers at one of those locations. And so that's our big thing going on right now. So
do you think I think it would be appropriate for us to let our kiddos know. So hey, if you know anybody that needs an air conditioner, this is what they need to do. And so tell me so you said Cope.
Cope and United Ministries are downtown. So,
Okay.
But you can also go to the YMCA. You can go to Stokes Brown Public Library. You can go to Mid-Cumberland Community Action Agency, or Juvenile Court is also a location. Or you can also come to United Way. That we didn't put that
Right.
on there because
Kind of obvious.
yeah, it's kind of obvious, and we're not also always in the office. So.
True. I mean, yeah, you guys are out and about. You're in the community.
We are so
You're all over the place.
But yes, you can always come to United Way too, and we'll set you up. So
Outstanding. So, I mean, I just think that's a wonderful program. That is one of the things we got requested more than anything at the Benevolent Center where I was
Really?
working at. And, oh, yeah, all the time in the summer where people were just burning up and needed an air conditioner. And, I mean, there was a lot that were just because we had funds, to do stuff. And, I mean, that was all our benevolence minister would, do that. But I would see him buy air conditioners. And people would don't. I mean, it's a big need in the lower income. And I know people say, I don't know if that's not low income. Like you said, if you got a house full of kids, it doesn't go very far. So,
Yeah.
very good.
Yeah.
So, you want to, get the mic, Ron.
Jimmy?
No, you're going to have to get over this way because it'll
right.
get you on camera.
Okay, I'm sorry. All right.
So, get on camera. But we got to say hi to Brian Pulley.
Good morning,
who's in the
good
house, and I
morning.
apologize. We're getting all the tech
That's
back
fine.
up, but the other microphone just is not serving us right now.
Everybody's trying to get
So-
going again this week with school starting back, and,
I know.
and so
I'm just
my alarm clock has been very mean to me this week. I'm not happy with it, but we're back.
Most important thing we want an update on clothing. I mean,
She is rolling, man. She's waiting on us in the mornings now. I had time before the interview this morning to go get gas, breakfast, and I was still waiting in the parking lot ready to go because she's on it this week. So we'll see how week 2 goes.
Oh, I love it.
Week one is always, it's like the honeymoon period.
Sketchy.
Yeah, that's right. Week two is when we get back to reality.
We were in our teaching class last night out, and I had to go to Murfreesboro last night, guys. So, yeah, it was a long day. So we were in our teaching class, and we were all like, "Yeah, our kids are being really good." And the instructor, Rebecca, she's like, "It's because they're still a little, kind of in shock that they're back in school given a week."
Oh, yeah.
And we were like, "Don't tell us that."
You've been
She's
through
like,
it now. You're
Yeah.
a seasoned veteran now.
Oh, I got to tell you, I'm
Yeah.
so thrilled to be in my second year because I'm now just teaching audio video. Praise the Lord. Thank you. Because that was hard teaching things that I didn't feel, but while you're building a program, you have to pick up other things, and the state will let you do one thing outside of your expertise, but you have to study it constantly to be able to do it. But my husband is now a teacher at Springfield High School. He is the new criminal justice teacher, and I keep saying it's like sending a kindergartner off to school every day. It's so cute because he's so excited.
Yeah.
I mean, he's just over the moon excited.
Yeah.
So, but it's like sending a kindergartner.
Yeah.
Oh, you can do it.
Yeah.
Come on.
You're right.
You got it.
Right.
Kill me.
Right.
But anyway, he's coaching. He's coaching out at Coopertown.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What's he coaching?
Middle school football.
Middle school football. Okay.
Assistant coaching.
Awesome.
And he's just like, I'm back on the football field.
Yeah, that's great. That's
gonna be
fantastic.
Christmas. He's
Yeah.
so excited.
Yeah.
We are thrilled. I
Yeah.
mean, we're both, he'll be 60 this year. I'm already 60. And we are just thrilled to pieces to be new teachers at Robertson County School. So if you've not considered this, guys, retire into teaching. It will keep you young, and we need you.
And we need good people.
Yes.
For sure. Yeah.
Substitute teach, all this stuff, man, I just can't say enough about
Yeah.
it. We're just having a ball.
Yeah.
We are. We're
Yeah.
just having a blast.
Yeah, I can tell. That's great.
So,
Yeah.
ask me by fall break.
Yeah,
Let's
no.
see how we're doing.
Yeah.
it's Halloween, right?
We'll do a check-in on you and my daughter a couple few weeks to see if
Yeah.
this enthusiasm is still carried over. Yeah.
We're talking with Brian Pulley and Tiffany Thomson. They are from United Way, and we have. I don't care if if you have just listened to national news about different organizations and stuff. We have Robertson County United Way. They are amazing, and I am so thankful. This is one of the best relationships I've had. Sitting behind this microphone is pretty much every week we check in because I've got to talk to Jordan. I haven't talked to her in forever from the chamber, but they're the bridge builder to the businesses. You guys are the bridge builder to the nonprofits, which is the core of what we want to do here at 1100 WSGI. This is a Christian broadcast facility. How better to be the hands and feet of Jesus, y'all, than to get involved and be a part of all the programs that United Way. It's just like Pierre was talking about. He goes, I said, why are you doing this? And his kids aren't playing in it. He goes, I needed something to plug into. He gets that you're better when you're serving.
Yes.
you're better when
Yeah.
you're serving.
Not
And
thinking
you
about
guys-
yourself so much.
You
and,
guys are
yeah.
a testimony to that.
Yeah.
I know you guys well enough, and I know all the things you do. You're a testimony to that. You put your money where your mouth is. You know.
Yeah, and we love for you to come and like figure out how you can plug in. Like I was getting a text at 11 o'clock last night. Somebody's like, I wasn't working in Robertson County. I was commuting, and she's like, but now I'm working in Robertson County, and I want to know how to plug in. She had put on Facebook yesterday that she wanted to start a clothing closet where people could go and get clothing. And I said, we have that here. We need more help. So instead of like recreating the wheel, recreating a nonprofit, come first and see if we have that nonprofit that might need you to help support and strengthen it. And so I just left a message that, hey, we actually have that resource here in Robertson County. For those who don't know, who are listening for the first time, we have a community closet where Walmart generously donates all their overstock and returns to
That's incredible.
our community. It's housed at 10 Kids Warehouse, and you can get in touch with somebody in the social service field, and they can go and they can get things for you. So if you know of somebody who doesn't have clothing, it's mostly clothing, and now we've been doing it for a year, because it used to be, well, we have winter clothes but it's summer, or we have summer clothes but it's winter. But now that we've been doing it for a year, we have like the full variety of clothing. So yeah, if that and people don't know about a lot of the things. So if you're thinking, hey, I really see this need in the community, do I need to reinvent the wheel, or can I, or is there somebody that just needs me to help them? And and so come and talk to me, because I'm still learning about all the nonprofits out there. And so if I'm still learning about all of them, then I bet there's a lot of nonprofits that the general public is not aware of. So, but there's a lot of ways that we can plug in, help out, lift each other up, instead of trying to do it all on our own.
I love that. And I love the fact that they called you and they said, hey, I'm thinking about doing this. And you're like, well, we've already got this, so why don't you plug into this? It's just like taking my stuff. I always would take stuff to the Benevolent Center where I work up at Madison Church of Christ. But now I need someplace local, because I'm not there every day. And so I can donate to COPE every single penny. That is all nonprofit. There's no paid staff. I mean, that's a great program right there. So everything you give them, if it's sold, it's going back into the community to help. And so we just got some amazing nonprofits. But I do appreciate you guys so much. Thank you.
Yeah. Well,
good job.
I like how you mentioned like United Way. If you've listened to national news, you might not have the greatest opinion of United Way. When this job opening first came up, I did a lot of Googling and a lot of searching and learning. And each United Way is ran on its own. So if there was a United Way in Ohio that did something shady, it's not on us. Just so you know, like they're all ran individually. And so you have a local United Way with your local values, with your local agenda, supporting local nonprofits. And so we're not putting our money into these big nonprofits that aren't doing anything. We actually know the people that are doing the work here in our county, and that is one of the things I love the most, is that when I get to go visit the nonprofits and see the work they're doing and let them brag on all the people's lives that they're doing, it's like I just get so full. Like I've told you before, I have this job because I'm very selfish, and I get fueled by serving. It's very selfish of me. It is how I find joy and happiness, and so and I love being able to do that.
But it's a great program. And I like to mention that every now and then, because whenever United Way, when y'all first came in, I was very, and this is years ago, I was like, oh, United Way. Oh, I've heard that United Way. And then as soon as I got to learn about our local program and understand that they're all separate and apart, and to understand everything I give to United Way, if I say, okay, I'm going to give you this, can you please make sure COPE gets this, they will. It's as simple as that, right?
Yeah. Brian's about to kick off our new campaign season, so we'll let him talk about it. If you would like to donate, if you would like to donate to United Way, Brian's got all the answers on that.
Well, and I tell you, before we do that, let's let him talk to us a little bit about Cumberland Connect, because he is going to help me with my Cumberland Connect. I don't pay him.
Speaking of corporate partners, they are one of our oldest, and they are fantastic to work with. I don't know exactly how long we've been working with Cumberland Electric here locally, but they just do a fantastic job in supporting their community. And I've had the good fortune to connect with Susie Yonkers, which is one of their community development people, and she is constantly thinking about ways to improve our community and ways that they can get involved. And then she taps us in for that. And so I'm thankful that she uses us in that way, and that's what we want to be. Like you said, we want to be bridge builders. And she emailed me last week and had something. She had a question on. It was about a food giveaway, and it was through Mid-Cumberland. And she's like, they got confused and thought it was Cumberland Electric was giving food away, but it was Mid-Cumberland. And she was like, so she was trying to help the person, and it was Mid-Cumberland giving. So we kind of connected those people with that, and it's just like that's exactly what we're here for. One of the many things we're here for. But like, yes, use us, and we'll plug you in to where you need to be plugged in. And that is what I love when a corporate partner reaches out. And it's like, how can one of our employees get involved with something they're looking to get involved with? And they're like, you know what, we got a thing. Here you go. And so that's one of the things we do. And Mid-Cumberland is obviously a partner of ours. So
well, and you figure Cumberland Connect too, because internet is a utility now. It's replaced our phone lines, and that's why it's coming in on with the electric companies now, and everybody needs it. And if you think, well, I want to be a part of the gig club, but it's $80. I mean, everybody I know is in the gig club, except those that live outside the service area there. Poor Tiffany, she just sits and just longs.
My internet bill yesterday.
Oh, but so we're so sorry for you. But if you get power from Cumberland Electric, you're eligible. And if you're struggling financially, well, they have an affordable connectivity program that provides qualifying households with monthly credit to help pay for internet services. And if you're eligible, you could receive up to $30 per month toward broadband services. They have packages that start $30 per month. And it's just as easy as that, guys. And if you want to know if they're in your area, you can call 1-800-987-2362, 1-800-987-2362, or connect with them at cumberlandconnect.org, cumberlandconnect.org. Always please let them know that U-Turn Brian and all of us sent you, and appreciate them for being a sponsor, but cannot say enough about it. But while we've got Mr. Brian Pulley on the microphone this morning, we want to talk to you about your fundraising.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, we are getting ready to get into campaigns. It's always campaign season, but traditionally United Way has raised funds in the fall, and so a lot of our corporate partners have continued that over the years. And so I was just talking to Tiffany when we were waiting to come on, and it's like September, October, November is really like our busy time for the fundraising portion of our year. We're doing fundraising throughout the year, but this is really when we have a lot of our campaign kickoffs and working with our companies, and they're doing all their fun activities. And I'm very happy to report this year, I mean, it's crazy to think about, but like we're fully back completely 100% as far as the in-person activities and the things that we do. We're a people organization, and so a lot of the stuff we were able to do on Zoom or virtually, that's great, but to be able to do it in person and be on site with these companies, and also have the opportunities to educate the employees with all the programs. We had a meeting this week internally with that was just Robertson County specific, and it was all the programs that touch Robertson County. It's VITA, the Raise Your Hand program, 211, our Family Collective, Tiffany's work. And so just to really figure out, one, how can we maximize our efforts here to make sure we're making the biggest impact on our community, but also how do we educate the public that these services exist. And so that's going to be a focus, I think, for us this year is we're out talking to people, and things like this radio program is to make sure that we are educating our public that these services exist in their community. And one of the big ways we do that is when I get to go into a company. Yeah, it's great, we need to raise funds. I mean, that's the backbone of what we do, but also I consider it a win if we don't raise $1 inside of a company, if I'm able to educate their employees on the programs that we have and resources that are available in the community. Because the employee may not need it, but their brother, their cousin, their aunt, their whatever may come a time where unfortunately they need some of these services, and then they're going to be aware of those. And so if we're not doing our job, if we're not creating that awareness, and so I think that's just, for me, that's just as important as the fundraising. Obviously, fundraising, we couldn't exist if we don't raise dollars, but we also, if we're not educating people and make them aware of the services available, we're failing as well. And so that's going to be a big focus for us this year. So when I'm talking to companies, really, if you would just allow us to come in and speak, that's a big part of what we do. If we raise some money, fantastic, because that's what we need to do. But also, we need to educate people in the community, because before I started, like Tiffany said, I didn't realize and I'm still learning. Like, we were in this meeting, I learned 5 things in this meeting with people that work in these areas that were available in this community that I was unaware of, because it changes constantly. Mm-hmm. Like, it evolves with the needs of the community, and so it makes me feel good about where we work and what we're doing and the service that we're providing when I'm talking to these people that are so passionate about their their area and the services they're providing the community. So as we go through this year, we'll be bringing some folks in here, and also when we're out, we're going to try to be educating as much as possible as the services are available. And Tiffany does an amazing job with that, but we have some folks that specialize in those areas too that we want to make sure that they can talk about it, because they have a depth of knowledge that I just don't have. So
right,
yeah,
and that's one of the big things that I have found out more than anything doing this show is I'll talk about something, people go, well, I didn't know about that. And I don't know how we get the message out, because it'll be events that I see advertised other places other than here, of course. And then I think, how in the world can you not know about these things? And people that have needs, that need services. And I love that you guys, that's part of it. When you go into these companies, you're educating the companies as to, if you've got an employee that's having, some problems with housing, there are sources. There's a real quick, easy number you can use too. What's
211? I'll let Tiffany.
Yeah, we'll go hand it back over to Tiffany. 211 is a number that I gave out all the time when I was working at the Benevolent Center, and because I tell people when they'll come in and ask me something that I don't know, is I'll say, we call 211 and talk to them at United Way, and they can, possibly point you in the direction of where you need to go.
Yeah, so our 211 specialist, this meeting that Brian was talking about, where we had everybody that can't come up to Robertson County that serves Robertson County. I know Brian and I are lucky enough to get to be the face of United Way a lot here in Robertson County, but we are not the only ones that touch Robertson County. And what I love being part of the Greater Nashville unit is that we have resources so much. So we had like the marketing person who helps us with our marketing. We had our Raise Your Hand, and a lot of you have been able to meet Dr. Kay, who does Raise Your Hand here in Robertson County, but also like her supervisor in the Raise Your Hand people. But 211 was, like, Helia is our 211 lady, and so she got to come to that meeting. And anyway, and so yes, please call 211. Number one, even if you don't think 211 can help you, please call 211, because 211 tracks our data for us. We know who is in need of housing, who is in need of food, who is in need of light bill, who is in need of all these things, because you've called 211, and we can then take that report to the city, to the government, to the grant writers, to all the things, and so that we can tell the story of Robertson County and what the needs are here. And so, but one of the cool things, as we talked about, was the Raise Your Hand program. I believe that was in 4 or 5 schools last year, and they're expanding to a couple more schools this year. The 8, yeah, 8.
They were in 5, now they're going to be 8.
Okay, yeah. So they're in 5, now they're going to be in 8 schools. This is an after-school tutoring program in math and reading, and the scores improved. I was trying to pull up the scores just now, and I was having a hard time finding the file, but they were, both of them, in math and reading, the kids that participated in the program, their scores jumped by, or improved by 83% of their scores improved. That's huge. That is huge. We know how much of a reading is a struggle nowadays with kids. Like, there are a lot of kids that are not reading at grade level, and so to be able to participate in this program, to be able to have United Way find the grants, bring the programs into the county, and then have your kids benefit for that for the rest of their lives. They're benefiting from improved math scores, improved reading scores, and to be able to have those skills and to feel good about having those skills. I tell my kids all the time, sometimes it's not what you know, it's the confidence about yourself, and so I know with improved reading scores comes improved confidence. Improved math comes improved confidence. They feel better about themselves, and they walk around with their heads held high. And so that's huge. That is huge. And so I want to make sure everybody knows that we're aware of that. And you can volunteer to come. If you want to be part of that success, you want to be part of that confidence, you want to build those kids up, please come volunteer with Raise Your Hand. So if volunteering in the tutoring space, awesome. You just want to volunteer with cool kids, we got Big Brothers Big Sisters. You want to volunteer with kids in foster care, we got CASA. So we've got if you want to plug into our children at all, please come talk to me. We've got a place for you to do that here in Robertson County.
There's all kinds of things going on, and again, just United Way is the place to go. Tell them where the office is located.
It is actually just kitty corner from the courthouse. So if you're looking for us, we're in the kind of the basement of the UT Extension building. Our door, so the UT Extension building is kind of unique that depending on which side you go into, you're going to walk into a different nonprofit. So upstairs is the UT Extension, and their door faces Main Street. And then our door is kind of down on the bottom, as you go down the hill, and that faces Fifth Avenue. So that's what people all the time, like, I'm at this building, I cannot find you, or people walking, and then on the back side, facing the Baptist church, there is the Child Advocacy Center. And so we've had a lot of people be like, the door, because the Advocacy Center does not just let people walk in whenever. Sure. So they're like, the door's locked. I'm like, no, I'm here. Anyway, so walk around to Fifth Avenue. So on the Fifth Avenue door, that's us. And we're just kitty corner from the square. So
yeah, you can see it. I mean, it's very obvious once you get over there, but go by and see them, and you'll see them around town. You'll see them everywhere. But I appreciate so much Tiffany and Brian coming in all the time and sharing with us what's going on in the nonprofits. We are going to pause for another second and take our last break of the morning. So glad to be back on the air with you guys. Cannot say enough about it. Just thrilled to be back. We've had some technical problems this week. We may have gotten popped by lightning. We don't know, but we're back. So thank you. And, I was checking in with Veterans Motorplex, just looking at their Facebook page. You have to go to Highland Rim Speedway to see what's going on at Veterans Motorplex. They kept the Facebook page when they switched it over to Veterans Motorplex because they had so many followers. It makes sense. But that is where you find out if there's a rain delay. There's a notice up there from yesterday that they're having a practice run today from 5 to 9 for the drivers, and that's where they communicate it. They say, follow them on Highland Rim Speedway to find out what's happening at Veterans Motorplex. Last week they had some rain come in, but after the track dried, they were able to go ahead and do some racing, it looks like, as I look back on their Facebook page. But if there's something that happens with the races this weekend, that's where you're going to find out. But otherwise, gates open at 4 o'clock. Races start at 6, and they run until about 9 o'clock. We're talking over at 6801 Kelly Willis Road in Greenbrier, 6801 Kelly Willis Road in Greenbrier. The number to call if you have questions is 615-643-8725, 643-8725. And I keep showing this magazine that's several months old now. This was put out at the end of the school year by the Licks Talk Trash publication, the Keenan Group. I'm going to get Debbie in here to talk about this here pretty soon. But this back page is a $40 value. This will get, and this is good for the entire 2023 season. That means through October you can use this if you can get a hold of one of these. But this will get in up to 6 kids and 2 adults for free. So you can go to the races and see, hey, do I like the races? And guess what? You're probably going to love it because I had no idea how much fun it was to see the local guys run around the track, local heroes getting out there and having some fun. You'll see some teen drivers. It is a blast. Veterans Motorplex, get in touch with them today. Get out to the races. And again, follow them on social media at Highland Rim Speedway so you will know everything that's going on at Veterans Motorplex. Get out there. Gates open at 4 on Saturday. Racing starts at 6. Tell them U-Turn sent you. What else do we need to talk about?
Was that
guys?
team drivers or teen drivers?
Teen, T-E-E-N.
Oh gosh, we got that going on at our house, man.
Yeah.
My 15-year-old just got his permit this week.
Oh.
That's frightening in and of itself. It should be entertaining for somebody else to come watch.
Oh, that's funny. Trying to teach. Is this okay? Have you had to teach one to drive yet?
Yes, my 17-year-old drives,
Okay,
but
yeah.
he's a very cautious child. My 15-year-old is not a cautious child.
That sounds like me. I was telling my kiddos yesterday, we're doing the safety talk because we're doing safety instruction for the CTE classes, career and technical education. You have to pass a safety test right out of the gate. And so we're talking about all things safety. And, of course, I'm going to tell stories along the way. And I talked to them a little bit about not, in studio safety, but just driving when you're sleepy. Because I put a car in a pond. So I've been telling, I was that kid. And my poor mother, I had all kinds of crashes. And because I was
want to
one
talk
of
about
them.
some of mine?
I've got
But I put a car, okay, did any of you put a car in a pond?
No, but I've rolled twice and been hanging from my seatbelt. Once a bear ran in front of me, the other one I got hit by a drunk driver. So, anyway, but yeah, I got stories too.
Bear ran in front of her.
I was in Montana. A grizzly bear ran in front of my car in Montana.
Okay.
Yeah.
There you go. Well, we're down to the last minute. Well, this opens up all kinds of stuff.
I know, that's what I'm saying. I got stories. We don't have time.
And to the serious note, been hit by a drunk driver. I've been hit twice by a drunk driver.
Wow.
One time when my husband was driving, got hit from behind. A terrible accident when I was a kid that it's just a wonder we all walked away. But when my mom didn't, she was severely injured, and the people in the other car, it was a terrible car accident. Don't drink and drive, guys. Just stop. That's probably one of my... Need to get involved with them. Oh, and we will get on. If you've got some room for a foreign exchange student, please reach out. and talk to them at the foreign exchange program. I'm going to reach out and get them on. I know I've been getting all kinds of texts from them, so hopefully. But if you've got some room for a foreign exchange student, please consider that. It's something that I think eventually I will do. I can't do it this year. Anything else?
One last thing. We were talking about CASA at the very end. There is a competition among CASAs. I am a CASA. Whoever gets the most referrals for the next class gets a $25 gift card to the depot, and I am all in. So if you are interested in volunteer for CASA, please contact me. Do not contact CASA. Contact me, and I will connect you to CASA because I want to get the referral. And so my phone number is 615-780-2511. Again, that's 615-780-2511. You can text or call on that line.
I love it. We all love the depot.
Yes.
All right.
Depot.
Thank you for joining us. Finally, we're back. 1100 WSGI. This is One Street Over. God bless. Have a wonderful day.